guys, so in today's video we'll be talking about what credit cards I currently have in my wallet and what credit cards I'm looking to get in the future. So starting off with the wallet, it's just a nice simple wallet. I got it off some TikTok shop. It holds up to 12 cards, and then it also has a money clip in the front, so that way you can hold some cash whenever you do have that on you. So the first card is actually just my debit card, and that's through SoFi. As you can see, that is just who I bank through, and I just carry around the debit card just in case I'm ever wanting to withdraw from an ATM to get some cash out of that. So the first card that I have is the Chase Freedom Flex. I probably use this card the least out of all the cards that are in my wallet. I know right now the quarterly 5% category is actually grocery stores, and then fitness clubs, gym memberships, and then self-care and spa services. But like I said, I don't really use that card too often, and that's because me and my fiance have joint accounts, and she signed up for it in the beginning of this year, and they were running a promotion to where you got 5% back at grocery stores and gas stations. So we use that card for the grocery store, and then we use the card as well for gas stations. Next quarter, I will be using that card a little bit more because we do shop on Amazon, as does everyone. So the next card that I do have is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I do use this card just for miscellaneous purchases when it doesn't fall into the category of gas stations, grocery stores, or dining out, because it does get that 1.5% back. So the next card that I do have is actually the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I do use this card pretty frequently when I'm going out to eat because it does get 3x back on dining in restaurants. I keep it in my wallet just so I can get that 25% multiplier through the Chase portal, and then use that $50 statement credit towards hotels every year. So the next card that I do have is the Citi Custom Cash. I do use this card the most out of everyone that is in my wallet, just because it does get that 5% back on the category that is your most spent for that month. That includes things like restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, select streaming services, drugstores, and a whole bunch of other categories. So if my fiance does forget her Chase Freedom Unlimited, because we did sign up for that and she got the 5% back bonus for gas station grocery stores, that card is the one that does get used up the most for our strategy. As you can see, they're filled with Chase products, just because I am such a huge believer in the Chase trifecta and using that to get the most points for your setup. And then also because Chase does have transfer partners like Delta and then Hyatt. That's where we booked our honeymoon through using this setup. So the reason why I made this video is just because I wanted to show you guys what credit cards I had in my setup and how they're being used. As you can see, I don't really use my credit cards too often. My fiance's Chase Freedom Unlimited gets used the most because it gets 5% back at gas stations and grocery stores, and we spend most of our money on gas stations and grocery stores. And then when we're going out to eat, we do use my Chase Sapphire Preferred because it does get that 3x back at dining. So what's next, and what am I looking to get in the future? So the next card that I'm looking to get is the Blue Cash Everyday card from Amex. The reason why I'd want this card is just to get my startup in the Amex trifecta. Right now they're currently offering $250 back after you spend $2,000 in your first 6 months with the card. It has no annual fee. You receive 3% cash back at grocery stores, 3% back at online retail purchases, and then 3% back at gas stations. None of the Chase cards do offer any gas station rewards. So the next card that I am looking to get is actually the Amex Gold card. I'm thinking this one will be later down the road, just because right now I don't really spend too much money to make that $250 annual fee worth it. And I also am not quite sure if I spend $6,000 in 6 months to be able to get that spend multiplier, which is 90,000 membership rewards points after you spend $6,000 in the first 6 months. It's kind of a tough decision. I'm probably not going to get it anytime soon. That'll be a future endeavor. That card does offer 4 times back in restaurants, 4 times back in supermarkets, and then 3x back on flights booked directly with Amex, and then 1x back on all other purchases. It does come with a few extra credits, those credits being $120 in Uber Cash, and then $120 dining credit, but those are only to certain restaurants. I believe Shake Shack, Cheesecake Factory, and then there's a couple other ones on there as well. I currently don't live next to any Shake Shack or a Cheesecake Factory anywhere nearby. I believe the closest ones are like 2 or 3 hours away. So it wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to get that credit card. Maybe in the future though, but the Blue Cash Everyday card, I am looking to get that card fairly soon. So as you can see, my credit card setup is pretty simple. I don't really have too much going on. on, I just use the Chase trifecta, and then I do have the Citi Custom Cash to pick up on the gas stations. But as of right now, I'm not really using the Citi Custom Cash too frequently, just because my fiance does have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and that came with a bonus of 5% back at grocery stores and then 5% back at gas stations. Chase points to me are much more valuable than Citi points. I think another thing that's very important is not trying to get credit cards just because you see them on YouTube and YouTubers using them. Just like the Amex Gold card for me, it doesn't really make sense right now. But down the future, it could potentially make sense for me to get that credit card. I just wanted to share on what's in my wallet and what I'm thinking about potentially getting in the future. These aren't really set in stone. I haven't really made my mind up about the Blue Cash yet, just because I have other credit cards that get the same or a little bit more, and I don't really want to jump the gun and get too many credit cards in my setup to where I don't use all of them. I just want to have around 4 in my setup to use every day with whatever purchases I do make. I found that 4 seems to be the perfect number for me to optimize and get the most points. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.